Hey fisherman, AquaDuelist here. So today guys, I got for you this Phantasm style deck profile. Now, I'm really excited for this because this deck got so much buffs over this last year, and then with the Mako, Legendary Duelist set, we got Fish Sonar, so this deck is very, very cracked. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this, guys. So, starting off, I am playing these three as my vanillas here. Reason why I'm not playing just 3 Megalo Masters is because I am playing There Can Only Be One. So these were just like 3 vanillas I had access to. Honestly, I wish I had Megalo Master, Gaga Gigo, and 7 Colored Fish, but I couldn't find my copy of 7 Colored Fish, and I don't own any copies of Gaga Gigo. I know I'm slacking on the AquaDuelist. I should own a playset of every water vanilla, but sadly I don't because I've slacked on that. So this is what I went with because this is what I had. Next up for monsters, you can get a bit closer if you want, my guy. I'm playing 3 copies of Dimensional Shifter. I know Dimensional Shifter Macrocosmos is back at 3, but I still would opt to play this over it because the issue that they have is they're only good if you go first with this. It's good if you go first or second. So I would honestly side maybe one of the either the Macros Cosmos or the Dimensional Fisher. If put them on the side, and then it's if I knew I was going first, I'd probably side them out for the Shifter maybe. So that's it for the monsters. Now for the spells. 3 copies of Phantasm's Pacifist, the Phantasm City. Card's absolutely cracked. So basically, your opponent does anything, you get a token if you don't have one, and then if a normal monster gets summoned, you get to add a Phantasm trap. So yeah, that's pretty good right there. Obviously, playing the terraforming with it, you gotta play the ulti terraforming. Just too good, too beautiful. Only thing that can negate ulti terraforming is ulti ash, but we don't have that yet, so you're good to just grab your field spell there. Next up, 3 copies of Fish Sonar. This card is absolutely insane. Pacifist considers itself to be Umi, so you get to search for a vanilla water monster, and then if you have Pacifist, you get to special summon another from your deck. So this really helped out this deck a lot by basically giving it more field presence and helps it to be more aggressive, and just honestly kind of cuts back on the amount of turns the games go, because before we just had Megalo Masher with Fossil Dig, so it's just kind of like a 1-1 thing there, but this you gain the advantage off of. I honestly do want to play 4 vanillas because of this card. I just don't really know what I would want to cut for a 4th vanilla. If I did put a 4th vanilla in, I would, if I was playing There Can Only Be One, I'd probably make my 4th vanilla maybe Skull Mariner, just because I don't want my types to clash with what I'm playing in the extra deck. So, next up, 3 copies of Prosperity helps the Pacifist. 3 copies of Duality, just basically like a mini Prosperity. You don't really special summon on your turn anyway, unless you have unless you get Fish Sonar. So that's it for the spells right there. Going on to the traps. 3 copies of Spiral Battle, which just pops card on the field. It's the best one. And then just 1 copy of the Power, which is basically Effect Veiler and a reverse honest in a sense, because they lose 1,000 attack and defense. It's not bad enough to cut. There are times where it does just kind of come up, but it's just kind of I think 1 is just the right ratio. I mean 2 is just kind of too much. So that's it for those. Now going on to the Floodgate cards. I play 3 copies of Skill Drain. You kind of have to. It's like a staple thing you do in this deck. You know, you're playing non-effect monsters, so you know. Then I'm playing There Can Only Be One. I just feel like this is stupidly good right now, especially here at my locals. Like it's beautiful. Hurts honestly just about everybody. So yeah, this is why you play like the weird lineup on the non-effect monsters. If you aren't playing this, like all means, play like 3 Megalomasher X and then probably like 1 of whatever vanilla you want. I mean, I feel like 4 is possibly like really, you know, vanillas is really like the good way to go with playing 3 fish sonar. Next up, 3 summon limit. You never summon more than twice anyway, so 3 copies of Shadow Imprisoning Mirror because Tier Elements is a thing, Sprite is still kind of a thing at my locals, and then it's like a lot of people are still in general just playing dark decks here at my locals. So I did side this last week, and after last week I wish it was in the main, so I moved it to the main and I stuck what was it, Dimensional Barrier in my side because it wasn't as good, but there's still a decent amount of matchups where I feel like it's good to have. I just feel like the main deck this was better. 3 Judgments, because, you know, just fuck Harpy's Feather Duster. I hate that card, and I don't like Evenly Matched. And then 2 copies of Sea Stealth Attack. Basically makes your token that you get off pacifist really big, and just, they can't, you know, it just runs over everything, so they can't really do anything about it. Also protects your back row, but the more important thing is just basically making your token run over everything. So that's it for main. Let's go to the extra deck. So playing 2 Kragans with 2 Kragan spawns. It's the only thing that really clashes with the there can only be 1. But it's stupidly good. Like, I think this is like the best extra deck, you know, thing that Phantasm Spirals has really just ever gotten. It's just amazingly good. I did have a game last week where my round 2 opponent, I actually didn't see pacifist like at all, and I still kicked his ass both games. And I actually won game 1 because of this card. It's stupidly good. So, then we also play 2 copies of Bahamut Shark, and then 2 copies of Toad, because it's just good and you can make it. You don't really go into your extra deck a whole lot. It's just there's like utility options. And we do play the Utopia Draco package here. You know, you can make it off of the 2 Kragan spawns. I wish the collector rare was cooler. Like, it's just, like, I love it, but it's just, I feel like it's not like the greatest looking collector rare. There's just other ones that look so much better, but I'm still happy I picked it up. 2 copies of Dweller, just because, like, Dweller's stupidly good, and, you know, why not? You have the space. And then for the last bit, it's Chalkanine with Borbo and Zeus. Honestly, kind of debating on just dropping these and playing like a 3rd Kragan and Kragan spawn. But I mean, this is just kind of like a very late game type of thing where it's like, you know, I mean, it's super late, and it's like, you know, you shouldn't have to get to this point. I've had it happen 1 time. So yeah, it did win me that game, so it's just kind of like nice to have, but you don't really need it, honestly. So guys, that's it for this deck profile. I'm not going to be showing off a side deck this time, so Fishermen, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and harpoon that like button, harpoon that subscribe button. Link in the description down below to the Instagram if you want to follow me on there, and I will see y'all in the next video, guys.